presence. Partner with Cancel This Show with myself, Vic Faust, and my co-host,
Mcllveen. We're ranked in the top 10% globally.
Our show has reached over 1.68 million engaged listeners, and we continue to grow monthly.
Podcasting is one of the best ways to advertise
because it offers a highly engaged audience, SEO-targeted reach,
and the ability to build a personal connection with listeners.
Dive into the dynamic world of cancel culture, politics, all current events, and the latest news with us.
It's the American taxpayers that are having to pay for all of this monkey business left and right.
Look at all of these pictures. They are using AI to generate fake photos, and we show you them. And Joe will show, we got a video of one, we've got certain pictures.
They were hiding the fact and trying to lie to the American people for months that Joe Biden was doing well.
This is Kamala. This is Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. It's Jake Sullivan, all together doing anything and everything they can to strike back at Donald Trump because he continues to kick their ass.
If that doesn't make you mad enough to vote one way or another in this election, nothing will do it.
Get your company's voice heard, your brand recognized,
and the exposure you deserve.
Does your brand align with our mission?
Let's talk and make an impact together. And hey, welcome into cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Megan Marie Moret, Pro Joe in the house. Appreciate you guys being with us today. Coming up at 9:30 today, we've got an interview with Nelson Mcllveen. He owns H2O. It's the SentryH2O.com water system, the purification system, the same system I use, the same system the Trumps use. They've been out in Palestine working with the disaster that they had. They've been working with the hurricane victims. Absolutely amazing. What we've had viewers use it. The owner was healed by cancer by drinking actual real water. Real water. We don't get real water, not even the bottled water. We'll get into all of that. We've had Nelson on in the past. They continue to kick butt. Also, very interesting when it comes to how you can't make a comment or have a political opinion publicly without being ripped by liberals. More and more athletes' wives getting attacked because they're like, hey, I may like what Donald Trump stands for. I may like his policies. We saw it with Patrick Mahomes' wife, Brittany, the abuse that she took. Never thought the entire country, at least a lot of people who were in this country that might not have been a big fan of hers, like, oh, they did a 180 when they saw how she stood up for herself. Now other NFL wives, because it always takes one trailblazer to go out and say the things that everybody wants to say, which was why the show started, was to kill cancel culture. And now there's another Miami Dolphins wives, Megan, coming out and getting ripped and staying on it, saying, we don't care if you rip us. We're allowed to have our opinion. Give us a break. We're going to back it up. That's the problem with most Democrats and liberals is they don't. And they'll rip you and make you just nasty. Yeah. We'll get into that. The big news, though, is the interview from last night. Kamala Harris. How low can you go? How low can you go?
She's at the bottom of the pit. Oh, she can't go much lower.
She's a pit dweller.
She is. She's a pit viper. She was a pit viper last night, too.
She was nasty. Mean. Taking your opinions, you can watch us, news headlines, politics, cancel culture, education, election 2024, and your water cooler talk. Of course, you can watch us live and Facebook, on X, on Rumble. We appreciate it. You can also watch us on YouTube. And of course, we put our information out there as well. It was interesting. We had a couple of people asking us, our TikTok account's been down for a few days. Once again, this is what people do to you. They will come after you and try to attack you and take your stuff offline. If you can believe that, they will do that. They will take it. You know what? If Nelson's in, we'll take Nelson now, and then we'll get to the interview right after that.
Yeah.
I didn't think Nelson was coming in for a while, but we might as well jump in with Nelson, Joe, if you have him, because I know he is a very busy man. Nelson, good morning. We appreciate you taking time to join us this morning. You've been a very, very, very busy man. If people don't remember, you joined us before to talk about your water for purification system, one that I use. I was just talking about. You've been super busy. Talk about your involvement with the Trump family. And some people talk about how great their products are, and oh, I care about my politics. You've combined these two, and your company is helping out people who actually need help, unlike a lot of the situations we saw with FEMA.
Well, we were there too. we were in North Carolina too. So a couple weekends ago, it's the government. They have an agenda. Okay, it's really simple, and the agenda is not our agenda, and that's the problem. So what we found is after we gave away a couple hundred units, I should say, to East Palestine. My wife decided that everybody in the town should have one, and I connected with another gentleman called John Rourke. He owns Blue Line Trucking, and he's very close with Don Jr. and Kimberly. So we've been able to have good communications with them, and we're going to go back on the 26th, not this weekend, but next weekend, and give away 1 unit to every person in town that wants one.
Wow.
So, and that's kind of what we're doing, is we're kind of finishing something that the president started. You remember when he went in there with the water bottles and gave away water? We were there the same day and we gave away systems. But it's like the old saying, if you're hungry, I give you a fish. I got you covered for today. But if I give you a fishing pole, you can fish the rest of your life, right? And eat the rest of your life. So we're giving them a system that will remove that vinyl chloride. As long as they use the system, it removes it. We've done the testing. We had EPA do chain of custody and EPA go in and pull the water, and then they tested it for us. And we came up where we removed 100% of the vinyl chloride at the worst place, on ground zero, where that train came off the rails and where they burned the vinyl chloride. So that's what we did in that moment. And we just want to kind of finish something up. We're getting about a lot of calls from people that are burying their family members because of this. I believe cancers, they're getting cancers they never, men with breast cancer. That's very unusual. So something's going on, and they, people saying I got sores all over my body. I got all kinds of crazy stuff going on now that we never had before. Vinyl chloride, guys. I injection mold vinyl chloride, PVC, in my factory, and I make these rubber feet on the bottom of ladders. It's PVC vinyl chloride, and if I run the machines 5 degrees out of specifications, I can kill everyone in the building within minutes. Mustard gas. That's what they did when they did the burn off. Mustard gas, right? Yeah. So they just destroyed the land all around East Palestine too.
Nelson, if you could remind people, if they didn't see you before, didn't know what exactly your system is, and why this water system is a must-have, and why you're working around the clock now, can't keep it in stock, because people are understanding how bad our water is, but there's still a lot of people who have no idea how bad our water is, even the water bottles, and why the Century H2O system is so dang important.
Okay, so guys, you all been trained to drink water out of a water bottle. You all been trained to drink reverse osmosis water, correct? I mean, that's the standard that everybody says is the best in the world. Well, I don't know about you, but when did it become standard to drink water that's dead? There's nothing in it, good or bad. It's a liquid. That's all it is, okay? And when you drink out of a water bottle, it gets one more little bit of information that people are starting to wake up to right now. When this is what people don't realize, but when you run water in a semi from point A to point B, it goes through a heat cycle, and it hits about 180 degrees inside that semi. 180 degrees, nano bits of plastic starts breaking off of the water bottle and goes into your water. So now you drink it, and now you're getting plastic inside your system.
Mm,
That's
mm-mm.
the thing we're finding out, right? It's a big thing we're finding out. All this plastic getting inside of people's bodies. That seals your fat cells off. That plays havoc on your immune system. So what we come up with is a product that does all kinds of stuff. And I'll start at the beginning of the product. When you drink to our water, when you take out the ammonia in the water, you know they're putting ammonia in your water, right? Chloramines. You've heard that water name being tossed around.
Chlorine, yeah, for sure.
No, that's chlorine. Now there's
Mhm.
chloramines. Chloramines is chlorine and ammonia.
Mm.
Ammonia lasts longer, so and it's cheaper. So now that's what they're using. Okay,
And
regular
why are they adding this? What's
because it could cost less money to take the parasites out of the water,
Mm.
and it lasts longer in your water. Chlorine only lasts a certain period of time. Okay, then it
Okay.
dissipates. So here's what happens though: regular carbon, ammonia destroys regular carbon, not the other way around.
Mm.
We use catalytic carbon, activated carbon, very expensive carbon. Then we use a product called CT resin, which the water goes through that, and we make oxygen out of every bit of calcium in the water. It turns into an oxygen bubble. That goes into your gut, and oxygen and cancer can't live in the same place. Okay? So keep that in mind.
Mhm.
We also remove 100% of the fluoride. If you guys want fluoride in your water, okay, drink it, enjoy it, get sick from it. That's all good. We remove all of it. And we use a product called bone char. Bone char is animal bones that they used back in the 1800s to get rid of fluoride.
Hmm.
And it still works to this day. The fluoride sticks to the bones and you don't drink it. Then we go from there. We keep the magnesium and the calcium in the water, which your body needs both of those things. And it's in your water until you go through an RO system. They take it out. It's in your water, and you need that to keep your body all working properly, right? Magnesium is the most important mineral in the world. Okay. More important than anything else. Without it, you're in bad shape. And they take it out of your water with an RO system. Not a good idea. Okay. And then we turn the water into a 9.0 pH. Alkaline water, and it goes through our system. It never goes back. When you guys go to that water store, you get your alkaline water, and when you go to a big block store, which sells alkaline water, that water tells you on the bottle 7 days from the moment that we put the water in this bottle is not alkaline anymore. It only lasts 7 days. Ours, once it flips minerals, because we're using minerals, not electricity, never goes back. I got water that's 2 years old, still 9.0 pH. Okay. That kills acid, which creates cancer. Okay. So now you're getting healthy, right? You're in a good spot. You're in a good place. All right. Now we get to the good stuff. So we remove arsenic, chromium-6, boron, all heavy metals, all that comes out. And we have a carbon in there that removes the vinyl chloride. And we have a test on our website that shows you we remove vinyl chloride. Okay. So we're not kind of just telling you this great story. Now we get to the real interesting stuff. We remove all pharmaceutical VOCs. Nobody does that. Pharmaceutical VOCs make up PFAs. You know, those 20 PFAs, they say they poisons they can't take out of the water. We take them out. That little nanoplastic, we go in and scrub the body. We clean that out. And then we take out all vaccines. Nobody takes out vaccines. We pull every vaccine out of the water. And here's how we do it. So remember this. This is how you clean carbon. This is how you clean water, excuse me. It's not ROs. You don't kill the water. It's time and density, okay? The denser the carbon, the more you can take out of the water. That's how this works. Normal carbon that you got in your RO system inside your house or any filter you put in your home is between 600 and 900 grains of density, and it's regular carbon, okay? The carbon that we're using is 2,800 grains of density with magnesium infused into it as catalytic carbon. We designed and developed this carbon just to remove vaccines out of the water for certain elites in Europe that didn't want that vaccine in their fish farms.
Okay. Nelson Mcllveen, the owner of Century H2O water purification system. I can tell you this much, Nelson. I feel better, sleep better. There's so many benefits that we haven't gotten into in regards to from a health standpoint. I'm curious. We've had listeners purchase your system, one for his wife, and he swears it is helping heal his wife of a massive disease. And you even said, for all intents and purposes, it helped you beat cancer before it got going.
Yeah, let me talk about that just for a quick moment. I started this business because my PSA levels went from 1.6 to 4, and I had a growth. We did all the stuff the doctor told us to do. Went to a specialist. Specialist decided that we had to do, remove it. I'm not really into medical stuff, to be honest with you. I've never been, other than a motorcycle accident, I was never really in the hospital. So I went home and developed this product. I use oxygen to move scale in factories. And I figure if I get that oxygen into my body, right? Oxygen and cancer can't live in the same place. That's what they tell us. So I built my first system February. We bought a new home, put it in. May, I went and had another test done, and I went back to the doctor. Doctor couldn't understand why my PSA levels and the growth was gone. PSA levels were down to 1.7. Okay, that was in that case. I've had that lady that you're mentioning, that listener of yours. I got a call from them earlier this year, and her white blood count is going back to normal.
That's amazing.
That's incredible.
No, it really is.
And that was
It really is.
We have women that gave us testimonials where their breast cancer went away. We have very, very high level individuals in this world that everybody knows their name. I'd rather not put it out there right in the moment, but their wives have had brain cancer. They've had metastasized cancer, and they're still alive, and the cancer is gone. And psoriasis of the skin, we've had health clinics buy our product just for the psoriasis of the skin, getting rid of it. I don't know why. I'm not a medical person. I'm not kind of promoting that aspect of it. All I know is this is my medicine. This is what I live on. This is what I use. I drink this all the time. And by the way, you want to lose weight? This is the product to drink, man. I'm telling you, I lost 28 pounds since the first of the year. And I've been going, I've been enjoying the water, more and more and more water. And that's because the water will fill you up instead of sugar, right?
Yeah.
So those are the things.
So I want to just back up for 1 second. So you were talking about fluoride. So we were raised, there's a lot of us and that are listening right now. We were raised, to drink water with fluoride. We were told that that's why our teeth would look better than let's say the people like in the UK, for instance, people that did not have fluoride in their water. So will you just clear that up for us? Do we want fluoride in our water or not?
Okay. So you have two kinds of fluoride. All right. You have poison fluoride, which is the stuff they're putting in your water. Okay. So here's how smart, here's how brilliant. This isn't even smart. This is brilliant. I got this product in the ground that's I have no use for, fluoride. There's no use. There's nothing you use fluoride for in the world of manufacturing. So it has no value. Okay. So they say, well, let's put it in the water. It's got the same name, fluoride. It's a direct poison. Okay. So if you take fluoride and you drink it, it goes into your body, goes into your blood. It's a direct poison. Pharmaceutical fluoride is not even much better. You don't put it on your gums, you put it on your teeth. It's good for your teeth, but not for your gums. Okay. Problem is, you can't brush your teeth without brushing your gums. Because we're being told you got to brush your gums to keep them all, good shape, right? Fluoride creates thyroid cancer. Fluoride goes in and creates all other havoc in your body for cancers. This is
interesting.
Okay, so you're starting to see studies come out where they're seeing how it's affecting children. Okay. So why? Okay, let me ask you another question. All right. I believe very firmly that when we were created, we didn't come from a monkey. I believe that we were created. Okay.
Science is on our side, Nelson. You don't even have to say you believe it.
What I'm getting at is, how many thousands of years have man been on this planet and they didn't drink fluoride? All of a sudden we need it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, guys. And when has our government ever cared about you?
Yeah.
From the chat line, Robert wants to remind everybody, fluoride blocks iodine, which your body needs, especially you women, and it gets into breast cancers. We've talked a little bit about that. We talked about the white blood cell count. which Nelson was just talking about, Nelson being held, and then of course so many other people. And not only these stories of health, but we're talking about sleeping better, which I can attest for, feeling better, feeling full. And Nelson, you even talked about the examples when it comes to women saying, you know what? I don't need to go back for another Botox.
Wait a minute.
The wrinkles are disappearing.
Hey, listen, guys. Okay, so look at this. When you drink, and our world revolves around water, whether we like it or not. You can drink all the pop you want. You still have to have water. You don't have a choice, right? So you think about this: when you're drinking water that has no value in it, your face becomes a prune. Your skin dries up. Everything implodes, right? It's just what happened. When you start drinking water that has minerals in it, good minerals in it, all of a sudden the lines in men's face go away. They start dissipating. It's my wife, she doesn't have a line in her face. And she is a very thin woman, so she doesn't have that help of,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say without saying it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That extra padding.
Yeah, she
No
doesn't have it.
padding.
She
I'll
this
say it.
woman, so she doesn't have that. And then men, here's the other part of this thing. Men, when they drink our water, they don't get up and go to the bathroom at night.
That's a fact.
Okay. I went from 5 times to 0. Okay. So the oxygen shrinks your prostate. Okay? The other thing is if you get cramps, leg cramps, arm cramps at night, with the amount of minerals we're putting in the water, your cramps go away. These are things, and this is a funny story because, when you walk a lot, when you're doing a lot of that thing, you do get cramps. They'll catch up with you at night. And I went to an event a year ago, August, and I woke up in the middle of the night. And I was screaming, man, because I didn't have my water, and all of a sudden I had a full body lake. It was like a lake cramp. It went from my head to my toes, And then we just got back. We went to Hawaii a couple months ago, and I was starting to panic. 10 days in without water, I was like walking real easy. I was like not doing anything that would create a cramp after the point. So that's what you notice these things. You see that your world is different. You see that your world is better, and your coffee tastes better. I use it for everything. You're like, oh, here's something that's very interesting. You guys got pets? If you have a dog, we have a dog rescue. That's why I refer to dogs, not cats, because we have this dog rescue. And we have about 14 dogs on the property at any given time. And these are dogs that really, really, really are deprived of food, deprived of everything, right? And when they get to us, my wife starts working back and she gives them this water, and the dogs start they don't care about the food as much as the water, because they can smell what's in the water. So they smell it. And then we have dogs that we've had now for a while. We've had the system. We've been doing this now for about 8 years. Okay. It's been longer than that, because we've been testing before we even brought it to the market. And these dogs have been living on this water. I have little dogs, 20 plus years old. And I have large dogs, 16 plus years old. I got dogs 16 plus years old, large dogs. They have dementia, but they're 16 plus years old. And they're so like, take it along, man. And, isn't it time? Nope. These guys are still hanging in there, and the water matters to them. So that's just something to think about from the animals aspect of this thing. It's a whole nother thought process. I mean, we see things with water that matters. And I'm going to tell you guys something. In Arizona, we're drinking dark water. You know what dark water is, right?
I don't.
Oh, no, you're gonna make her throw up.
No.
Oh, it's coming to a town near you.
Can't wait.
Oh, we couldn't either. And California, Arizona, and Texas is drinking dark water because we don't have enough water, they tell us. So what they did was we get our water from the Colorado River, and the Colorado River starts in Colorado naturally, but the farmers are encouraged to use as much of that water as possible before it gets to the rest of us. Okay. So we don't have enough water, they tell us. And if California would fix their water pipes, they wouldn't lose 1 million gallons a day off of it, right? So those are the reasons we're in trouble. But so what they did was dark water is when you and here's why we have problems, and you all know this. Here's why you have problems with men wanting to be women, estrogen, and all that nonsense. The reason we have that is because when you drop your pills down the toilet, when you go to the bathroom, when you have all these other things that we're doing in the bathroom, what women, abortions and all that, right? All that goes into your drinking water. It goes into an underground aquifers. They scrub it for 10 years or so, and then they reintroduce it into the water tablet. Well, now they accelerated that process.
Mhm.
So now you have dark water, which is water that has heavy chemicals in it to combat speeding up the process. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, our carbon, being that it's at 2,800 grains of density with magnesium infused into it, has the ability to protect you from that water. That's how bad this is, guys.
Okay, so this what you're talking about now brings me to the question that I really want to know. So I've been drinking tap water my entire life. I still do. I drink a ton of water. So I just fill it up and I have a water bottle that I normally drink out of. So I don't, unless I'm out somewhere, of course I'll drink a water bottle, but it's not, I just drink so much that I prefer to not drink, 20 water bottles a day. So, and also there's not a lot of people that can afford to get water systems. So in a bigger picture, if you could have it your way and you could snap your fingers and tomorrow you could, someone put you in charge of clean water for America, right? What would need to happen for the masses, for the mass populations? What would need to happen in order for, all of us to have clean drinking water? Or is it not even an option unless we have something hooked up in our homes?
All right. Good question. First of all, drinking tap water means you're drinking calcium.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get stones.
Yeah.
Okay. By going through our product, the oxygen breaks the calcium from a snowflake, but it looks like a rock. It's a snowflake. Turns into a powder so your body can process it. Very important. You're going to get stones. I got them. I almost killed me. I went septic. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Our water out here is worse than yours. Okay. Because it's the desert. We have destroyed the water tablet to a point where you can't get back to where you want to go. Meaning pharma has given you so many. Okay, so 98% of all pharma is sold in America. Okay, not the rest of the world here. All that pharma goes into your drinking water either through your body process or through you throwing away your meds.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get that back. Everybody, the only way to protect yourself at this point in time is having a system that will protect you from that. And to my knowledge, and I'll be honest with you guys, look, I used to build ROs for a living. That's how I started my company. I made the plastic and I put them together for the big players out there. RO is better than nothing at this, where you're at. But the point I'm making is we've taken a product. The carbons that we use, to give you an idea, a cubic foot of regular carbon that's in your RO system will cost them $40. A cubic foot of the carbon I'm telling you about is $800. I pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. CT resin is thousands of dollars. We got the best of everything in this product. And what we did was we got to a price point of $325. Okay. That will last you a year.
And that's what I have. And I want to and real quick, can you remind people how often they have to change the filters?
You change the filters depending on, we ask you to change them once a year. And the reason we're saying that is we don't know what kind of water you have. We don't know how many people are pulling water from that system. So we do that as a safety measure. I've seen them go longer than that, but we don't have a meter on the machine to tell you how many gallons passes through that product. And it's all gallon driven. Okay. And we can go 3,000 gallons of water through the process. So we don't want to put anybody in jeopardy of something that's not, top-notch water they're getting. I don't want you thinking you're getting something and then it's not. Mm-hmm. We have a shower head. For instance, if you can't afford a whole house system, you grab a shower head. The shower head will have you'll be showering in oxygenated water. Right now, you take in a pint of water every time you take a shower. Your body does. You're a sponge.
Mm-hmm.
So all that poison's going in your body, right? I mean, so you're not getting away from it. But I'm saying this, to drink tap water, and I know your water tastes. When I lived in Chicago, the water up in that area is good water. Okay, it has a nice taste to it, but at the end of the day, it still has the toxins in it. It has. Now we also have a well system, right? We take uranium out of the water. Nobody else can do that, and we're finding a lot of uranium in the wells now. Okay, nitrites. It goes on and on and on. So we do water tests. We pull the water. We build systems custom for your application so that what you have works. And that's the thing that we do. But I know this bottled water ain't good for you. pH. Now think about this pH water. You get the stores. They got to overcharge it so that over time it lets, it dies. And they want to, keep as much pH in as long as they can, 7 days. That's not good for you. It just doesn't work,
And we're showing, I want to let our viewers know right now, I'm showing the system that I have underneath my sink. This is, if it's just basic, I don't care who you are, what financial situation you're in. Starting this business has not put me in a good one. You can afford $324 at some point for your health. There's nothing more important we put into our bodies than water. Nothing. We must live on water. There's nothing more important that you can do every single day for yourself than that you care about the water that you put into your body. That is the system. Now there's the house system, and I encourage everybody to go to the links that we are showing to check this out. Not only do I use it, not only if you purchase something, a small percentage goes back to our company, but most importantly, you care about your health.
Well, we do this, guys. Now we support Vic and company, and we support projects like East Palestine. Okay, so the project, we're going in East Palestine, 2,000 systems. That system right there, we're giving away to people in East Palestine. It's a $300,000 investment on our part, and that's at my cost. That's what it cost me to bring that resin and use that resin. I bring in only the best from Germany on the resin. All the plastic is made here in America. Everything else in that product is made in America. So that's what we do from that standpoint. We went into North Carolina. We take care of people there. Part of our marketing strategy, guys, is helping those folks that are in a spot where they can't, support themselves, from a standpoint of water. And most people don't know what's in their water. Most people don't have an idea what's going on, and that's, and I'll be honest with you, I made ROs. I thought that was a standard. I thought that's what we had to do. I didn't even give it any thought. It didn't even cross my mind. I just made them. And then when I started learning a little bit more about how to do water right, all of a sudden it's like, holy cow, man, this is like complicated.
I want to remind people, if they look at the system and go to the link that we've included, you want to remember to use Safe Sips as the code, because you're going to get a 10% discount as well. And that's huge. So please remember to do that. At the end of the day, we wouldn't be bringing you anything bad. You trust us to bring us your politics, your news, the facts, not fiction, the facts, not feelings. And we wouldn't be doing it, especially with something that's as important as water that you need to live and put into your body on a daily basis. My interaction and my meeting with Nelson, as I believe, was a God thing, as it is. And I am grateful that we have him on talking about the system and what it is and why it's so important, because marketing in America is brilliant. Whether it's true or not, you get marketed water bottles, you get marketed all kinds of things. You have to do your homework and know what you're putting into your body.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he enlightens me, because I don't pay attention to, as long as it
I bet you will
good.
now, because you're super intelligent.
Most definitely. It could go the really wrong way for me though, because when I get on something,
Jeannie,
I really go after
Jeannie
it.
wants to know real quick before we let you go, does a water softener do the same thing? And what's the difference between just a regular water filter and our system? People need to know you're not getting the minerals put back in. So if you can explain that again, that would be great.
All right. Water softener. Why would you put salt in water? So the scale slides through your pipes and through your, hot water tank and all that, right? With our home system, we do two things. We make the house healthy, and we make you healthy. What we do is we use oxygen to move scale. That means your hot water tank, all that scale that's in your hot water tank today in 6 months will be gone. Your wash machine fungus and mold free. Your dishwasher, all the scale will be gone, and you won't have any water spots, and you don't need those water jets anymore. You know, packs to keep your glasses clean. Your shower will be clean. That's what that does. Okay. The bottom line is, yeah, you got softeners. Softeners, you're putting that on your skin when you take a shower. So you're putting salt in your body. Your body's a sponge. It sucks up everything it touches. You ever notice when you touch something and you can taste it in your mouth? That's going directly into your bloodstream. So why would you do that? And the other thing is, why would you want to buy salt every couple of weeks and have to lift a 50-pound bag to fill up this tank, right?
It sucks. I did it for 5 years. I was like, my God, when will this end?
All right, our system, you put it in and you forget about it between 5 and 10 years. You don't even look at it. It cleans itself. It does everything it needs to do, and it's simple to install. The under the sink system, 15 minutes, it's in. That's it. No
It's
holes.
easy.
You don't drill holes. You do nothing. So that's the difference.
It connects to the hoses. It's very, very simple.
Very simple. We made it. And there's a YouTube video out there. We made it as simple as possible, so the average person. I'm not telling anybody they're average, but folks can, like, I have women 70 years old putting these in, and they're like all proud, man. They're like, hey, I knocked this. I did this thing in 15 minutes. No big deal. So that's what we try to come up with, something that we don't want anything out there to say, come between you and a healthy situation. I'm going to tell you something. When you get on this, now here's one thing. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you one of the downsides to this product. Okay.
That you can't take it in your purse
Yeah.
when you go on your daily.
You put it in your own water bottles because it doesn't die.
That's right. It never dies.
Does not
you
die.
put the water. So
in your water
I would
bottles.
have to load up my water bottles
Yes.
before I leave.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the ice cubes, the ice cubes won't have that shiny spot in the middle of them like you're used to. So there's no chlorine in the ice cubes. So this is a little hazy ice cube you're going to get. When you drop that in water or any beverage, it cools the beverage down very quickly because it melts very quickly. If you come out to Arizona and you go to the Sun Stadium, you've heard of the basketball team, right? We manage all the water in that building. That's how big this is. They're figuring it out. Yes, and we're getting involved with a lot of corporations now. But I'm telling you this, you guys, water is not a problem anymore. We figured out a way to make it good for you. You've been told a lie all this time.
Some people are still jumping in. Can you explain reverse osmosis again? Somebody wanted to say, what about and we'll try to get you out of quickly.
Reverse osmosis is real simple. All the water that goes through the membrane tube gets scrubbed. Good and bad gets scrubbed. It pulls everything bad out and pulls everything good out. Now you have a liquid. That's it. All you have is a liquid. So you're taking a liquid in. It's not doing anything for your body other than, I guess, keeping you from dehydrated. You can even get dehydrated from this stuff. Our water, because of the minerals, dehydration goes away. You're not dehydrated.
I want to let everybody know, yes, in America, you can order this product. It doesn't matter where you are. This isn't a St. Louis thing. It's not an Arizona thing. This is a United States thing. You go to the links that we're putting, and we tell you to go to centuryh2o.com/discount/SafeSips. SafeSips is the code. That's where you're going to get your 10% discount. That's how it helps our program as well.
Definitely so.
And ultimately helping you. So yes, go anywhere and check it out. And the best part about it is you're going to know within 2 weeks. Some people even quicker, maybe a week. But
don't even take our word for it, guys. Don't go to the tests. We got all the lab tests out there, so you can see what it does, what it doesn't do. We're very, very transparent when it comes to showing you what the product does. But it's a whole new way of filtering water, and it's the right way to filter water. That's
warranties, guarantees associated with system.
What's that?
Question was, what are the warranties, guarantees associated with the system?
Oh, 1 year warranty on all the parts. And I'll be honest with you, if you ever have a problem with the system, you give me a call. We got you covered. But yeah,
I can attest to that. It's centuryh2o.com is the company, guys, but you need to go to get your 10% discount to the link that we're showing at the bottom of the screen.
Please use
I've
that
included it in the chat line as well. centuryh2o.com /discount /SafeSips.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Nelson, we'll get you back on again. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you guys.
I'm grateful. Tell the Trump family when you talk to him, we said hello, we love him. Maybe you could get one of the Trumps on our show for us.
Well, Don Jr.'s drinking our water.
I know he is.
Well,
Yeah,
tell him
Don
to
and
come drink
Kimberly.
our water.
No,
Huh?
he don't want to drink our water. He wants to
Well,
drink his good water.
We'll serve him some Century water. Let him
Well,
know.
I'll tell you what's going on right now, real quickly. We've been having a lot of conversations with the family and to go into East Palestine. They may be there, or they may not be there due to the fact that they feel that Ohio is pretty much in their, wrapped up, and they have so many other areas coming into the last few days of this election cycle to get their face in front of people. So we're kind of working a couple different angles that way, but the family, they're kind of running at 100 miles an hour right now, and that's the downside of it all.
Are you worried about anything with the Trump family and what's going on with him and what we've seen, not only just from the attacks on his life, but everything else that could go, even if he is able to win this election, if it's fair and everything else, Nelson? Because I know you're more on the inside than we are.
Okay, so here's what everybody has to understand, and I hate to even talk this way. You don't put two idiots up on a screen to represent a party if you don't have something in your back pocket that's going to push them over the edge. Think about that. Kamala and this other guy, I don't know, Waltz, Tim, whatever his name is, these guys are the worst of the worst. We'll find out that this Tim guy is not even who he says he is. She is a fake. And they put them up as their face people. Up until now, at least they put people up that we thought were okay. Okay, right? Bill Clinton, right? We thought he was okay. George Bush, we thought he was okay. We put those people up. Now they're putting up two people that they don't even care what you think. That scares me. At least try and.
Well, we didn't put them there. That's the thing. They didn't get one vote from the people to be in this situation.
So what does that tell you? What does that tell you guys?
You're
What's
exactly
going
right.
on here? How are they going to take the election? Okay, or do they don't even? Obama doesn't even care anymore. That's the part that scares me about this. Okay, at least if you're kind of playing the game a little bit, we kind of feel a little warm and fuzzy that this is going to be an honest, fair election. Now, here's the other thing. When before in a lifetime we've ever seen a candidate being attempted to be murdered?
Never. That's and then of course we saw a terrible interview last night, which we're going to get to once we let you go.
Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. Here's what I'm going to tell you, and this is serious. The people that control your water control the government, right? Same people, different name, different part of the government. You folks out there, you may want to put cans of food in your closet for the rainy day, but you're definitely going to want to have something to protect your drinking water, because if they do what I think they're doing, you don't want to be drinking that water. Okay. I mean, they can put anything they want in that water and you would not know about it. Okay. Bottom line is, folks, if you guys think the way I think, you're deplorable. A deplorable means they don't want you here because you're not part of the one world order. You don't believe in all that stuff. You're going to fight back. But I do think this, guys, and I'll let you go with this, but I do think that we are coming into a time, November 6th, that's going to be very interesting.
I agree.
If out here in Arizona, we have, it's a right to carry state, and we go nowhere without our guns anymore.
Wow. Oh my God. You just gave me chills.
Hey, I just went out and built a 50 cal.
Wow. Well, hey, if I lived in a border state, it might change my mind.
Well, we're all becoming border states.
No, in all honesty, it's the border. We're used to the border. Okay. We go there all the time. It's not, I used to work in Mexico, so it's not a big deal for us. That's part of our world down here. Okay. But the people that we're seeing are not from Mexico. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Nelson, real quick before we let you go, another question. I already know the answer. We'll let you answer it because people are still coming in. Will your filter work if the water treatment goes down?
Yes. Okay, so we're give me one moment here. I am building right now, and it'll be out for Christmas, I believe. Will be a portable product, and we're building it for the horse industry. Okay. So they can carry this. We sponsor some horse people, and they can carry this unit on their trailer. It hangs, put it next to the water trough. It hangs on the fence, and hoses, garden hoses screw into it. Okay. So they're taking water from Utah. See, a high-end horse will not drink water that they're used to drinking in Texas, in Utah. It tastes different, smells different, whatever. Our product keeps everything the same, and you can put water in here that is of any level, any caliber. Okay, the worst of the worst, and it will take that water and scrub it the same way that you scrubbed other water. It doesn't care. Okay, we send this product to Paraguay. Paraguay uses it to water their cattle. That's how they wean their calves. Calves will not wean off their mothers if they smell poison in the water, right? So we run, and that's how we're losing 50% of our calves here in the United States. That's $1,500 a loss. So in Paraguay, they figured it out. They're all on board with us. They take it and they use it to wean their calves, and they're keeping almost 80% of their calves now. So that's the difference, okay? So yes, it will do exactly what you want. If the water system goes upside down, or they're not going to go upside down, they're going to add stuff to it, okay?
Exactly.
Okay, this will scrub it. I'm telling you, 2,800 grains of density on a carbon scrubs everything. And we added magnesium into it on top of that to help get the stuff out of it. And it took us 2 years to develop this carbon. And
Nelson Mcllveen, we love you, man. CenturyH2O.com/discount/SaveSibs. We'll get you back here. Hey, thank you for not only trying to help people, but to get the message out, to obviously go to places where people need help, East Palestine, and then, of course, North Carolina, where the hurricane went through.
And that's a story for another day. That was amazing.
And we'll get it. Nelson, thanks for getting up with us, man. We'll catch up with you once again. Remember, people, if you buy the system, it's going to work. You're going to feel different. Number one, you're doing something for yourself. First of all, you also help our show. A small percentage comes back to us, but use the discount code that we continue to put up. I already saw that people were purchasing it. Nelson, it'll be one of the best decisions you could ever do for yourself. So we'll get you back on. Have a great day, buddy.
Thanks, Nelson.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Nelson Mcllveen, and we'll continue to talk about it. It's when you start to learn, it's like, oh my God, why haven't we learned about this? Well, because there's a reason why you haven't. And check it out. You help us out too a little bit here. And when you go look at the pricing, obviously all you need is the one that I have underneath my sink. That's the $325 one. But for the home system where it can go to every situation, plus it's in your shower and your clothes being washed, that's the one that's a little more expensive. It's over $3,000. But the people who've purchased it, I know one person wouldn't change it. Are you kidding me? The skin that we have, the clothes that we wear, and then we can go and use it everywhere. So it's any water in your house runs through that, where you have the minerals and the magnesium in everything. So check it out. If you have any questions, let me know as well. Let us know. Or if you have any issues. I do know of 3 people who've purchased it and they all love it. And one person purchased it so his wife could be healed. And you already heard him talking about the white blood cell count and how that's helping her now. So,
and I'll be getting it ASAP.
Yeah, I think I am too, Joe.
And a small percentage goes back to cancel this because, and I was, like I said, I don't have time to get into it now, but I know that my meeting with him was a God meeting, and we should be doing this more. And I apologize to people for not getting Nelson on as much, even though I have lots of conversations with him all the time. But every time I talk to Nelson, our conversations are 30, 40 minutes. And I'm like, my God, because he's teaching me, and it's like, I got to get back to this. So we appreciate it. Once again, we have included the link for you, and I continue to include that link. Use the SaveSibs code link that we've included. That gives you a 10% discount. He was talking about you can't trust the government. Yeah, you can't trust Kamala Harris. She was appointed. She wasn't selected. She did her interview last night, and here's what we got. So we'll go a little bit longer today with this. Number one, Brett Baer, kudos. I said I've always thought you were milquetoast in interviews. Last night, you were amazing. You get an A++. You should get some sort of huge bonus. Your contract should go up at your next contract. At 54 years of age, I am all for them paying you the millions of dollars that you deserve for what you did to Kamala Harris last night. It wasn't a gotcha interview. It was asking simple, point-blank policy questions, and Kamala was running from the get-go. She showed up about 15 minutes late. This had to be turned around by their 6 o'clock newscast. She didn't show up till 5:15. Interview was supposed to start at 5. Most people show up at about 4:30, 4:40, get set so you can start on time. Showed up late. She evaded questions. She was miserable. And we'll show you some new polling from Polymarket this morning. Shows Donald Trump crushed it because of how bad she did last night. And we'll show you a couple of those sound bites in a second, just letting you understand where we come from. I'm giving my opinion. Megan will give her opinion, and then we'll show you some of the clips from last night. One thing is clear. She hates Donald Trump. 2 things are clear. She hates Donald Trump. 3 things are clear. She would only use the name Donald Trump. Once again, she said his name about 100 times. Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, instead of talking policy, because she can't do it. She only tried to lie once that I could tell about the border, but she is a disaster. This is why she hasn't been doing interviews. And then at the end of our clip, when we talk about this, her people stopped the interview early because it was going so bad. That's my 2 cents on it. Megan, your thoughts from last night?
Well, like you said, I think that Brett Baer did an amazing, amazing job. I think that he did what journalists should have been doing for the last 4 years when it comes to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I think that he was firm, but he was fair. And I loved his approach. He never gets rattled. Like we talked about the other day, he stays very calm, very measured, but he wasn't going to accept her talking in circles like she does every time someone asks her a serious question, especially when it comes to policy. And, he would ask her a question and she would start to drift off. And before you know it, she's talking about absolutely nothing that's pertinent to the question that he asked. So, you could see him very calmly trying to reel her back in, like, okay, where are you going? And, she was really, really nasty. And so last night when I was watching this, I was like, that her goofy, playful, laughing, how she tries to do. And then she's the woman of, many accents and inflections when she speaks. But last night, I think that we saw the real her. I think that she's not a nice person. I think that she is super passive aggressive and manipulative.
She is a narcissist. Females can be narcissists. Most men are most narcissists, I believe, are men, but there are females who are narcissists. She is definitely one of those. Case in point, right out of the gate, Brett Baer talking to her, listen, 70% of the country thinks that we're in a bad direction. We're heading in a bad direction. And you've been a part of the issue. Watch her run and hide and sneak and dodge this one. I mean, this right out of the gate, you see how bad she really is and how bad she is for America.
Of Brett.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
And but you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
you
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
but
people
you're the
have
lever
become.
Of power.
But listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, frankly, exhausted.
She is a disaster. And not only is she a disaster, she's a liar. And she got crushed in the ratings last night, which was awesome because we just want honesty. And if you're going to lie to us and you're going to continue to point the finger, I can't remember the last politician who pointed the finger more than she does.
Oh, and points the finger at things that aren't even relevant. I mean, she every single thing that she's asked about, she just vomits.
Case in
Donald
point,
Trump.
Our second soundbite that I wanted to show last night, because we weren't trying to show the whole interview over. She refuses to accept responsibility. She lied to the American people for a long time, and we've shown all of her soundbites stating, "Oh, Joe Biden is in perfect health." Up until he all of a sudden wasn't. And when she was asked about it by Brett Baer, brilliant question, honest question, straightforward question, what does she do? She tries to turn it to Donald Trump. You lied to the American people, and she refused to answer the question again. After the interview, Bret Baier compared her to Barack Obama, the same way that he interviewed him in the past and said Obama would show up late. He wouldn't answer the questions. He would run and hide with the questions, waste time, and then you wouldn't get any answers. And he's like, well, I did your interview. Once again, it's that same Marxist philosophy. Accuse others of what you're doing yourself. Run, hide, lie, cheat, and steal. Listen to how she evades the question here.
You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room, and he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
Oh, God. Joe Biden, no concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump
but you talked about it.
And Donald Trump
after George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump.
And you told many interviewers.
This is why Donald Trump is kicking her ass up and down the street in the polls, in the ratings, and everything else. A lot of times it's better when Don's quiet and just let her talk. My God, this was brilliant for the Republican Party last night because she was so bad. Oh my God.
How many times is she going to try and interrupt Brett, because she didn't like that he was actually, speaking
It's the first
truth.
time she got pressed like Trump gets pressed, and she has to give an account for herself, give an account for her history, give an account for her policy or lack thereof, and she just can't. Number one, because it's not good. Number two, she doesn't have the mental capabilities to do it.
Yeah.
Although she wasn't drunk or on drugs last night, at least that. There's no doubt.
It was her. She's rude. She's rude and nasty and, manipulative. And she tried to gaslight him.
I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what to expect. I could not believe. We all know that she's not capable to be president, much less a senator, much less an attorney, much less anybody running for office because of what she has shown us. And for her to do that interview I was like, no way. The fix is in. There's no way they're going to put her on Fox News where she's actually going to get asked serious questions and follow-ups to those questions when she runs and evades. But they still did it, which made me think, Vic's mind's going crazy. The last time I saw this was when they did it to Joe Biden because they wanted to tank him. I don't think they're trying to tank her weeks out from the election. But my God, why would you put somebody who is incapable of doing a positive interview where she doesn't have the questions in advance up on a worldwide stage where you're going to get crushed? I'm glad they did it. We saw the true Kamala. She's not capable of being, as I said, anything from a political standpoint. And it got so bad that watch what happens. Watch this clip. Brett's like, I'm getting a hard rap. I'm getting a hard. Out of nowhere, the interview ends early. Out of nowhere. And he wasn't contentious in any way. We'll show you this, then we'll come back up, and then we'll show you Bret Baier after the fact explaining why they had to stop the interview so fast.
Madam Vice President, and they're giving me a hard rap
Well,
here.
I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Madam Vice President.
I'm getting a hard rap out of nowhere. Okay. So because it was a disaster. She's a disaster. The Democratic Party is a disaster. The campaign is a disaster. Waltz is a disaster. Their policy is a disaster. It is the worst campaign we have ever seen with the two worst candidates that we have ever seen for the top office. Here's Bret Baier with colleagues explaining what happened last night and why he was getting the hard rap.
And, I'm talking like 4 people waving their hands, like, it's got to stop. So Martha, I had to dismount there at the end. There's so many things, and she maybe should do more of these.
Madam Vice President. They're giving me a hard rap.
Well, I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
And, I'm talking.
I mean, she can't go longer than 24 minutes And they were probably shaking in their boots.
Yeah, they were
back there thinking, oh my gosh, this cannot get any worse.
They were
like we have to end this, and then they try to come back and say, well, we only had a certain time allotted for her. Well, when you show up 15 minutes late, Kamala, you need to stay 15 minutes later. But no, they weren't about to continue to let herself completely drown herself in quicksand.
Well, the best part about it too is polling came out afterwards, and the poly market polling, the betting markets. Look at this. This is now Donald Trump is as high as he's ever been because he just continues to talk policy. JD Vance continues to talk policy, talk truth, talk about what America needs, what America wants to make America great again. And she's a buffoon. Yes. 61.3% to 38.7% poly market polling. He is crushing her. As I've been telling you for several months, do not believe the national polls when it comes to the network polling, when it comes to the newspaper polling. You have to go down the middle with the Rasmussens, the Breitbarts, and of course the poly market, where money is, where the real money is going. This stuff, I mean, people, it's not close. It's just not close. It's not close. And when I talk about it not being close, I'm talking about the Electoral College. And every polling has Donald Trump now leading Pennsylvania. Deep blue Pennsylvania.
Yep. The honeymoon is over.
It is a big deal. It's not let national media, state-run, communist, Marxist media influence you or think something's wrong. You're in the majority because common sense is winning. Common sense, rational, logical thinking is winning despite all the media efforts, despite all the digital campaigns to make you think, yeah, can a boy really become a girl? Can a girl really become a boy? Am I mean for thinking that? Is abortion in the 9th month, is that really good? No, we know they're making you think things that you already know are wrong that are right. Do not get caught up in it. I'm telling you, these are the kind of candidates, just like Nelson was telling us, they don't even care anymore. They don't care. They just hope that hatred for Donald Trump is going to get them across the finish line so they can control everything in our lives, including our drinking water.
I mean, have you ever heard something so ridiculous in your life when someone is trying to have a conversation, just a normal conversation?
We're cultists now too.
Yeah. And that's all.
I was told I was a Trump member, or I was told I was a cult member because I followed Trump last night.
Well, you probably are.
I'm a cult.
You're in your water.
If it means you're a cult,
he's in a water cult and a Trump cult.
If you're in a cult and I follow Trump, then fine, I'm in a cult and I'll stay in that cult.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, just because people want common sense and are sick and tired of, like you just said, all of the lies and just all of the nonsense and people trying to convince you to believe all of these horrible things, it doesn't mean that you're in a cult. It just means that you are able to use your own critical thinking skills.
Donna said she would have been better last night if she just sat there and ate an ice cream cone.
She probably would have. And you know what? That's funny that you say that, because the only time that she was doing a little bit decent in the polls is when she wasn't talking, when they had her hidden.
But then she started getting crushed because she wasn't doing interviews.
Exactly. And so here she is, and she's been pressed. What are we, 18 days away? 19 days away?
19.
Yeah, 19 days away. And here she is. And it's not working out for her, folks, because that is who she is. We saw the real Kamala Harris last night. And she, I thought that Tim Walz was who I had to worry about. Because I don't think he's right. I think he's off. I think he's very dangerous. And well, just not even that. I mean, yes, physically, when we look at him, we know something is not right. But I think that there's a lot more. I think that he's got a deeper, darker
Why do you
past.
think the black community is going so far and hard and charging for Trump? Especially black men, because they know. They know. It's like, even when the black community, who had been sold so many lies for generations, is coming out so strong for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And against the fake black people like Barack Obama and Kamala Harris, they know this is awesome. It's so much fun. Enjoy this. And also remember, as we say, to go out and vote. All the early voting too, Republicans. Yes. I mean, every little thing is lining up for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't mean be complacent. It just means you should have even more vigor, more energy to know that what you are doing is working and getting the word out. Having that energy, that confidence, that positivity, and know that the attacks will never stop. Sorry, it won't stop. Till Jesus comes back, till this world ends, this is not going to stop. They will not stop. We've reached a different point in time. And people are like, well, can't we all get along? Wouldn't that be nice? I just don't like anybody. Yeah, that would be wonderful. In that Pollyanna world that doesn't exist and won't, because this is about good and evil.
Yeah, that's
it makes
for sure.
us feel, well, I wish I'd like to get along with everybody. Yeah, of course. Yes, of course. But it's different. That's not the way the devil works. And if you believe in God, you have to believe in the devil. And then you have to believe that these things are happening. So guys, we appreciate it. I just wanted to, once again, check out the link. I'm putting it back up. You can't do anything more important for yourself than make sure they're putting, we already know you have to have water to live, and you want to be drinking the right water. You'll have energy, vitality. I mean, it's
no
awesome.
Wrinkles on your skin, ladies. That's what sold me.
Yeah, well, check it out. Check it out.
Oh, okay.
But it's an awesome show. We appreciate you guys supporting us so strongly as you do all over the country, and the support that you give us. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show as you do. Once again, if you know of other people that want to be with us, we'll show you that video in just a second, but we want to give shout outs to our advertisers that we have. Complete Auto Body Care. You're not going to find a better owner than Curtis Sparks. You're just not. Complete Auto Body Repair. CompleteAB.com, 314-731-7999. They do everything from A to Z on your vehicle. They even sell tires. They have rental cars. They do it all. They're not going to nickel dime you. They get you in and they get you out. David Gregory, running for Missouri State Senate. But he's also the best conservative injury lawyer you're going to find. He even promotes himself that way. ConservativeInjuryLawyer.com, ConservativeInjuryLawyer.com. Check him out. I've used him twice. Joe has used him twice. If you've been hit, you've been in any sort of an issue with a car, with a motorcycle, with a truck, there's a reason why big name people put out the marketing, and then who do they go hire? They hire Dave and his team to go get the money. He's also going to give you 5% more back than what you would normally get. That's 5% from his firm if you tell him that you heard about him on Cancel This. Also, Wenty's in the Chesterfield Valley in Defiance. Good times, great food. There's a reason people just don't go there once. They continue to go back and back because the food is great. The times are great. The service is great. You've got your location in the Chesterfield Valley, Chesterfield Airport Road, and you've got the other location in the heart of Defiance. And they're just good people. They've been with us from the get-go. Ben and Marla, some of the best people that you're going to find. Obviously, when it comes to the world of real estate, you've got to be in a situation where you have a plan. And when it comes to that, you give Megan Livingstone a call, 314-249-1708. You can also contact Megan at megan.livingstone@exprealty.com. You have to have a plan in place. You need to be told what the honest truth is. You need to have a positive approach, but you need to stay to your plan. That's what Megan does for you when it comes throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Give her a call before you sign with anyone. And Ben Lawler with Tom James Clothing. I used to get my suits from Ben. He's decided to jump in on the show. Ben will be in next week. When it comes to getting your custom clothing, it may shock you at how inexpensive it can be. And it comes to your custom fit, it comes to selection, and it comes to convenience. Ben Lawler appreciates what we do here on the show. He's jumped in. We included his phone number and his email as well. We appreciate you guys jumping in. And of course, we'll be back on Monday. And as we do, if you know of any other advertisers that want to jump in with us, let us know. Vic@canceltheshow.com. And of course, the next video tells you all about that. All right. I always say, anything we miss, anything we got to add? Because we run a little late today.
No, I think we covered it. I think we covered it. Go if you did not see the interview last night with Kamala Harris and Brett Baer, I highly recommend that you go back because it is awesome. And you can really, I think we all know who she is, but she showed the entire world last night who she really truly is.
And with that, we say thanks for watching us. For Pro Joe and Megan Marie Moret, I'm Vic Faust. Guys, have a great day. Thanks for watching the fastest hour plus today in podcasting.
Yeah.
Politicism?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good.
Have a great day, guys. Catch you next time. Presence, partner with Cancel This Show with myself, Vic Faust. And my co-host,
Megan Marie. We're ranked in the top 10% globally.
Our show has reached over 1.68 million engaged listeners, and we continue to grow monthly.
Podcasting is one of the best ways to advertise
because it offers a highly engaged audience, SEO-targeted reach,
and the ability to build a personal connection with listeners.
Dive into the dynamic world of cancel culture, politics, all current events, and the latest news with us.
It's the American taxpayers that are having to pay for all of this monkey business left and right.
Look at all of these pictures. They are using AI to generate fake photos, and we show you them. And Joe will show, we got a video of one, we've got certain pictures.
They were hiding the fact and trying to lie to the American people for months that Joe Biden was doing well.
This is Kamala. This is Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. It's Jake Sullivan, all together doing anything and everything they can to strike back at Donald Trump because he continues to kick their ass.
If that doesn't make you mad enough to vote one way or another in this election, nothing will do it.
Get your company's voice heard, your brand recognized,
and the exposure you deserve.
Does your brand align with our mission?
Let's talk and make an impact together.